Hello. Hello, check. I request everyone to kindly remain seated. Okay. I request everyone to kindly remain seated. Our chief guest will be arriving shortly. May I have your attention? I request everyone to kindly remain seated. Our chief guest will be arriving shortly. Thank you. May I have your attention again? I request the public gathered here to abstain from clicking pictures by coming in the front. The designated official videographers, photographers, and media persons only are allowed to come to the front to capture the photographs. I request the remaining public to abstain from coming front and taking pictures. Thank you. Hello. I request everyone to remain patient. Our chief guest will be arriving shortly. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. May I now request your attention towards the entrance gate. Our chief guest has arrived. We shall all witness the unveiling of the NIELIT Dimapur plaque by Shri Rajeev Chandrasekhar, Honorable Union Minister of State for Electronics, IT and Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India. The dignitaries will now have a walkthrough inside the Institute building, accompanied by our fellow guests and department heads, requesting everyone present online and offline to remain seated as we will begin very shortly. As we have already witnessed the inaugural of NIELIT Dimapur Center, we will also continue to witness the virtual inaugural of 4 other NIELIT centers today by our chief guest. We have NIELIT Jorhat Extension Center in Assam, NIELIT Dibrugarh Extension Center in Assam, NIELIT Pasighat Extension Center in Arunachal Pradesh, NIELIT Senapati Extension Center in Manipur. All of these 4 centers are connected online right now.
Hardware and IoT lab. Since we are running all levels of the IoT subject. Speak. Remove your mask.
We have made a project in Arduino kit. So we have made a good switch on using this one. So yes, this is Bluetooth, this Arduino, and this is relay. So we have connected in a main switch. So with this, with the help of Arduino, we can operate SC, light, and other which can be connected to the. So this is an example. And this is another one for shipping. So this can be controlled like program it within NER. So this is
This is again Bluetooth again.
yes. No. This is not a Bluetooth. It's just a program. But through this we can display as it goes and Arduino. And we are using even the shift register.
Oh, it's not tethered, no? Untethered.
Ah, okay. Yes. We're using shift register also. So we can power supply and then using the Arduino.
What have you studied?
They are studying O-level second semester. In that, they have two subjects, that is IoT and Microsoft.
No, but other than NIELIT, what have you studied? What is your background? School, you finished school?
Yes, yes.
What graduation?
Arts.
Arts?
Yes, arts.
Okay. Very good. If NIELIT can convert an arts graduate into a technologist.
Most of the time, A-level are from arts background only.
No, but that is, by the way, the challenge. That how do we take our massive pool of graduates in arts and deploy them in technology? Good. What's your name? Well done. All the best. Tamil Mafia.
I now request everyone present here to stand as we welcome our esteemed dignitaries. We have Shri Rajeev Chandrasekhar, Honorable Union Minister of State. We have Shri Imnatiba, Honorable Advisor, Industries and Commerce. We have Shri Monnumo Kikon, Honorable Advisor, Information and Technology. And we have Professor Madan Mohan Tripathi, Dr. Jaydeep Kumar Mishra, Joint Secretary, MIT. You may all be seated. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I take the pleasure to welcome every one of you to this program for inauguration of 5 NIELIT centers in Northeast region. Now I request the NIELIT team to felicitate our esteemed guests for today. Firstly, amongst us we have Shri Rajeev Chandrasekhar, Honorable Union Minister of State, Mighty Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India. Also, we have Shri Imnatiba, Honorable Advisor, Industries and Commerce, Labor and Employment, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of Nagaland. Now we have Dr. Jaydeep Kumar Mishra, Joint Secretary, MIT. We have Professor Madan Mohan Tripathi, Director General, NIELIT. Thank you. May I now request Professor Madan Mohan Tripathi, Director General, NIELIT, to give the welcome address. Professor Tripathi was a research scientist with Institute of Plasma Research, Gandhinagar, and part of the first nuclear fusion program of the country. He joined Delhi Technological University in 2012 and became full professor in 2015. He was also Director of Internal Quality Assurance Cell, Coordinator of IPR Cell, and Head of Entrepreneurship Cell at DTU. He was General Chair of International Summit on Quality in Higher Education 2019 and Speaker in 3rd Global Renewable Energy Invest Meet 2020. He has published 200 research papers, 1 patent and 3 books, and guided 15 research students and is actively involved in research. He is a senior member of IEEE and life member of Plasma Science Society of India. On 31st January 2022, he joined as Director General of NIELIT. Sir, you can take your time.
So before that, I think we welcome our guest.
I request the NIELIT team to felicitate Shri Mondumo Kikon, Honorable Advisor, Information Technology and Communication, Science and Technology, Northeast Region, Government of Nagaland. Thank you, sir.
Very good morning. I welcome our esteemed guest, chief guest of the event today, the Honorable Union Minister of State for Electronics and Information Technology and Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Shri Rajeev Chandrasekhar ji, who agreed very kindly to inaugurate the 5 centers of the NIELIT and also to kick-start the NECP project in the northeastern state. I always find him a very inspiring leader, and whatever I think of doing, I find that he has already done it. So he's a leader and I am follower, so I keep following him on Twitter and other social media. I also welcome the Shri Emantiba, Honorable Advisor, Industries and Commerce, Labor and Employment, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of Nagaland, and Shri Mon Lumo Kikon, Honorable Advisor, Information Technology and Communication Science and Technology, NRE Government of Nagaland, for taking the valuable time from their busy schedule and join us in the inauguration of the NIELIT centers. I welcome Shri Rajeev Mishra ji, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Electronics and IT, Government of India, to join us in this auspicious event. I also welcome all my colleagues from NIELIT, the very senior officers from the government of our Nagaland and Dimapur district, the media persons, the students, and all of you who have gathered here to participate in the inaugural ceremony of the 5 centers of the NIELIT in the Northeast and kick-start of NECP project. The 5 centers have been approved by Ministry of Electronics and IT in 2012 with a total budget outlay of 287 crore. Out of this, these 4 centers have the permanent campus at Jorhat, Dibrugarh, Senapati, and Dimapur. And also, we have one more center at Pasighat in Arunachal Pradesh. So they all have 3.3 acre land around and 20 crore investment from the East Center. This project envisaged to increase the training capacity of North Indian state to 14,000. But actually, in the last 10 years, we have trained more than 2 lakh people. So training capacity has actually reached 20,000 per year in the whole of the Northeast. And after adding these centers, it will go around 25,000 per year, the training capacity. And based on the success of this infrastructure project, the NECB2 was also designed by my friend of the Northeast, and it was candidly supported by the Ministry of Electronics and IT. A total budget outlay of 92 crore was given, where 1.67 lakh people will be trained in 2 years, which includes people from every segment. So I again welcome all of you, and thank you all of you for joining this event. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the warm welcome note. I would now like to request Dr. Jaideep Kumar Mishra, Joint Secretary, MIT, to address the gathering.
Good morning, everyone. Honorable Minister of State for Electronics and IT, Skills Development and Entrepreneurship, Honorable Advisor to the Governor, on Government of Nagaland, Shri Imnatiba and Shri Monlumo Kikon, Director General NIELIT, all my dear friends from NIELIT, from Nagaland, and all the virtual participants who have also joined us in this inaugural ceremony. So it's a great pleasure to be here among all of you, because as a lot of you might be knowing, I have been personally involved in this project. And initially from the conceptualization to the implementation of this project actually happened during the time that I was there at MATI and handling the charge of the DG. So I thought that this is a special occasion, an auspicious one, and it would be an excellent opportunity for me to be able to participate along with you in these ceremonies, and also be able to hear from our Honorable MOS and the Honorable Advisors also of Government of Nagaland, and to be participating with you in seeing how best we can take this agenda forward. I won't speak much because we are eagerly waiting for our esteemed guests to speak, but I'll just share a few thoughts so that there is, and take this opportunity to be able to share what MATI has been doing from our side. So as you might be aware, the Digital India program that was launched in around 2014 was essentially targeting around three main pillars on digital infrastructure, but more focused on the area that we are talking about, on digital empowerment, in which foundational level digital literacy were the core theme areas. We have greatly evolved from that time, and now currently when we are looking about 8 years to 10 years from what we had embarked upon, we are gradually moving up on, in fact not just gradually, but at very rapidly moving up on the digital maturity index, or the framework that we would call up. And so from the MATI side, we have been essentially focusing around four main themes. One on manpower development on the skilling component. One on creating digital literacy, the foundational literacy through the PMJ Disha scheme. One which we have been doing on sensitization and awareness, especially on cyber security. And lastly, which is besides the skilling, reskilling, focusing on the advanced topics of emerging technologies, and also focusing on the research and development and design, so that we are able to live up to this Atmanirbhar challenge and the ownership, that agenda that we have been wanting to move on. So taking forward these agendas that we have and moving on of the digital, now currently we are in the new phase of designing of the Digital India program. I am sure our Honorable MOS will also allude to that, and also share the vision that he has for the Digital India program, but primarily focusing now on digital government and on developing a skill talent nation that we have been embarking upon. So in the ladder as we move upon, we are working on improving policies, we are improving the efficiencies in the system, and we are sure that in the times to come you will see the direction that in which we are being guided, you will see the results of it bearing fruit. Coming on to the second aspect, I think, which I wanted to also cover is on the digital inclusion of as many citizens as possible. So the Digital India, as I mentioned, had this component of digital infrastructure, and inclusivity and access to the digital technologies, to the access to the internet. These are special areas and special themes on which we are focusing very extensively now. So universalization of the internet, multilingual internet, which so that you are able to communicate in your own regional languages. There is a national language translation mission that we are working on, and all the varied languages and all that people, which is very peculiar and typical of our country. We are hoping that through this great initiatives, we'll be able to integrate everybody together, and everybody will be able to communicate and talk to each other in our own languages that we are having, rather than being dependent on only one or two languages, especially English, that has been predominantly dominating the entire sphere. Coming to the NECB project, which DG Dr. Tripathi also indicated, as you are aware that the NECB project that we envisaged in about 2014 through a cabinet approval was basically looking at creating 12 such NIELIT centers. Dimapur is an extension, this is outside that, this is in addition to those, but 12 such centers, I think, and which we had funded about 250 crores from the Government of India side. And last year in September, Honorable MOS inaugurated 6 of those centers. So we are extremely happy that 4 more of those centers, so bringing it to a total 10 of those centers, we'll be able to basically inaugurate and take forward that agenda of skilling people, and which DG NIELIT also mentioned. So the taking forward the NECB 1.0, as I mentioned, was essentially focusing on creation of the infrastructure facilities that we are seeing now. We conceptualized an NECB 2.0 system also, and also taking forward the guidance that Honorable MOS gave us in the month of September during the earlier inaugurations and his visits to Kohima, I think that STPI inauguration. So we have designed a program which is very peculiar and in line with what the government has been thinking. And the NECB 2.0 project, which we are just shortly going to inaugurate through the Honorable MOS's hands also, basically focuses on skilling is one component which was mentioned. About 1.6 lakh people we are hoping to able to skill in this portion. In addition, we have also built in a component of, in addition to the skilling, and in line with what we are trying to do currently, we have built in a component of startups, and entrepreneurship has also been made as a component. And if Honorable MOS may recollect, there was a discussion that he had with STPI and all. So we are actively working in developing this entire ecosystem of startup innovation and creativity to be encouraged. And we were extremely happy that even in the lab that Honorable MOS visited there was a student from arts background who was working on that IoT labs and all. So this definitely shows that we are moving towards an inclusive kind of taking together everybody, not necessarily people from IT backgrounds, but people from all streams that are there engaged in this process, and taking forward the larger agenda of Digital India, which we are hoping will be, and the Atmanirbhar Bharat concept built into it, Skill India, all these components that are there, we are looking forward that we'll be able to build in. I'll just share 1 minute of sharing what peculiar things we have done specifically focused on the Northeast, sir. So we have several programs running across the Northeast. Some of them run in specific states. Some of them run pan-Northeast. So there are programs on digital intervention on handloom and handicrafts for the livelihood enhancement of artisans in the Northeast states, which is run through our NIELIT Kohima Center. There is setting up of ICT infrastructure in 40 government schools in northeastern states through the Arnet India program. We have establishment of intelligent educational infra in Eklavya model, residential schools, for about 175 smart classrooms that we have developed through the Tribal Affairs Ministry. We have capacity building and training in emerging technologies for enhancing employment opportunities through our NIELIT Agartala Center. We have capacity building of unemployed ST youth in Manipur in assembly line repair, maintenance of solar lighting and other electronic devices. We have a technology-mediated delivery of courses in medical program itself in the northeastern NER medical colleges, which we have developed through AIMS Delhi. So we are able to take technology, take the best resources that are available and able to reach out to the aspiring medical doctors in the northeastern region. We have the skill development, the ESDM program that is there, in which we have about 34,000 enrolled in the northeast region, and almost 26,000 of them have got the certificate also done. Similarly, we have an aspirational districts program, sir. I believe you were also to visit one of those districts. So there are 11 out of the 60 districts in the aspirational districts in the country that we are doing, where we are taking forward the skilling programs through NIELIT. 11 of those districts are in Northeast region. One of them is in Nagaland also, the I think the Kiphere district, right? So Kiphere district. So those are the areas, sir. I thought I'll just briefly share with what we have been trying to do in from the Métis and through NIELIT's cooperation, otherwise in the northeastern region, since we have participants from other states also in this entire inaugural ceremony, sir. So I'm also very happy to inform, sir, that finally, as you know, NIELIT has been instrumental in this entire region, and they have built up this extension center in Dimapur, through which we are looking forward to being able to reach out to the greater number of masses and able to take forward our digital India agenda. There are two specific programs that I will encourage all of you to look forward to. So from Métis side mandate, there is a full reimbursement of courses that we do for all SC/ST students. So far through NIELIT efforts, we have been able to successfully certify about 61,000 SC students in the Northeast and about 1.8 lakh ST students in the Northeast region. So all the fees, the courses that are skill-oriented courses through NSQF alignment are offered free for SC/ST students. Second, in lines with our focus towards emerging technologies, there is a Future Skills Prime portal that we have launched, which is basically trying to cover about 4 lakh students and people from industry, people who have lost jobs. They are all in 10 emerging areas of technology. So we would encourage all of you to please take a close look at that platform and register and use the advantages of NIELIT that is available there to take forward this. So finally, sir, I'd like to conclude, and as I said, we are extremely thankful to our Honorable MOS and both the advisors here who have found time to come here and share their thoughts in us, which we are very eagerly looking forward to. I would like to request all of you to please use the services of NIELIT that is available to you as a bridge between your, wherever you are, and able to bridge that digital kind of a platform, and you are able to get onto the main digital highway and able to take advantage of the technology that is available for us. I would like to thank DG NIELIT for inviting me here, and I thank all the participants and everyone. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your insights and valuable keynotes. The excellent leadership and guidance from our respected Shri Ashwini Vaishnav, Honorable MOS Shri Rajeev Chandrasekhar ji is very excited to interact with students from the different NIELIT centers present here and those connected through online as well. Therefore, I now open the time for interaction. Sir, you may kindly take this time. NIELIT Dimapur students, our sir is now open for interaction. Can we get a microphone for NIELIT Dimapur student? Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. My name is Kyo Beren, and I'm from Kohima, sir. As many students after completion of studies don't get the opportunities to venture out in entrepreneurship or attend internship. So some of us students are looking for employment opportunities from industries. So I was wondering if like the government have any plan to introduce new industries in IT sectors here in Nagaland.
So that question should be actually posed to my two friends from the government of Nagaland. But let me tell you what I'm assuming you're a student here, isn't it?
From Kohima.
Oh, you're an NIELIT Kohima. Okay. And you will hear when I speak later in the day, later during this program, why it is very important for digital skilling. Because if you look at what new opportunities are being created job-wise or entrepreneurship-wise, almost everything that today a youngster, somebody like yourself, will have to deal with is that every job will have to have deep digital skills required of the candidate. So this gateway is a gateway that, in my opinion, everybody must go through anyway in terms of broad digital skilling. The second point in terms of what will the government do in terms of creating an ecosystem of opportunities. If you see the line up there, in Hindi it says, Naya Bharat, Naye Avsar, Naye Samriddhi. And I'll translate that into English for you. It is new India, new opportunities, and new prosperity. We are doing a number of things, including, as I think Joint Secretary alluded to and maybe DG spoke about, which is that using our ecosystem within the Government of India of STPI and startups, we will try and encourage an ecosystem of startups within Nagaland and within the broader Northeast. Using NIC, using NIELIT, and using STPI and the mighty Startup Hub as a prime mover and the core catalyst. So you will see in the next coming months, specifically in the areas of digital government, and specifically in the area of internetization and digitization of local economies, there will be a number of new opportunities that will be created, seeded, and in a sense encouraged and mentored by this ecosystem of NIC, STPI, and NIELIT. So in a nutshell, you are in the right place, you're working with the right team, stay focused, get the right skills, because in my opinion, in the coming years, you will turn out to be a very important, much valued component or a piece of the overall technology ecosystem that the Prime Minister is building in the country.
Thank you, sir.
Any more students from NIELIT Dimapur?
One question can I pose to the students,
yes,
and this can be answered by any student, whether they're in NIELIT Jorhat or Pasighat or Dimapur or Kohima, is that based on what you are studying in NIELIT, is there any suggestion that you have for me in terms of what kind of programs, what kind of skills you would like that is missing or that can be added? I'm interested in knowing that. Even
Any
online,
student can
if
answer.
anybody.
And if there's anyone online, I think the tech team can look into it. Sir wants to know if there's any suggestions that you can put up. Where, okay, yeah, you can answer.
Yeah, good morning, sir. My name is Vitso, and I'm currently taking this multimedia developer course out here.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, okay. My name is Vitso, and I'm taking this multimedia developer course. And I hail from Dezebe village. So I just like to share some of my thoughts and the needs, I think, which will be needed in the days to come. So before I go into that, I would first like to thank the government of India and the government of Nagaland for setting up this wonderful NIELIT facility out here in Dimapur and providing the best system, equipments, and the teaching staff needed for the courses. So the first point that I would like to share is if there is some advanced multimedia course, like right now we're taking this basic. So if the institute provides some advanced diploma or master's course, I think it will be really helpful for the students in the days to come so that they can get in touch. And the last point that I want to like to share, like I've said earlier, I'm from the Dezebe village, and it's quite far from here. And finding a transportation is really hard. So if the institute can provide some hostel facilities for this institute, I think it would be really helpful. There might be a lot of students from all over India who might be might be coming from far places like me. And if there's a hostel facility, I think it will help a lot of students in taking up these courses so that the transportation and the timing and the distance won't be a problem for them. That's all. Thank you.
Can you ask if there is any young girl, student who wants to say anything?
Okay. Is there any female student who wants to raise a question or who wants to give a suggestion, both online and offline? Anyone online? Dibrugarh, Pasighat, Senapati Extension Centers. Is anyone online right now?
Introduction. Good morning, everyone present here. My name is Nilakshi Tukan, and I'm from Dibrugarh, and I'm undergoing here software development course, Inauguration course in NIELIT Extension Center Dibrugarh. And I'm very happy, glad to learn new things in this digital platform, which will really help me in the long run. And I'm very much glad to say that this will be valuable addition to my career, which will really build my career perspective in the future. So that's from my side, and I would like to thank you, the Government of India and NEP, for providing such platforms for the students who, like us, who are in remote areas, who can get these opportunities and explore these skills in the various fields. So thank you.
Thank you.
Any other students?
So one more question from my side about placement. I would like to say that the students like us, those who are engaged in these skill learning platforms, they get 100% platform placement from these extension centers immediately after the completion of the course. So that's like I would like to know, because almost all the students don't get placed.
No, so that is the same question that the young gentleman in Dimapur also asked. It is, like I explained to you, that is a very important part of what NIELIT is working on in terms of ensuring that more and more of the students who study in NIELIT work in close partnership. NIELIT will work in close partnership with STPI and the Startup Hub and NIC and the broader industry at large to create more and more opportunities for placement, and that in turn will create opportunities within NIELIT, as the young man said just now, of creating more upskilling. That means you start with a multimedia O-level course, and then as you progress in your career, you will then go into an advanced multimedia course or a progress in your entrepreneurship. So that is the broad idea that is being executed now. Let us, I will interact with you a few months later and take a report card from you on whether we are successful or not.
Can we have a couple of questions from NIELIT, Jorhat, Pasigat, and Senapati Extension Centers? Jorhat, Pasigat, Senapati Extension Centers. If you have any questions. Okay, so we have a student from Jorhat Extension Center. You're not audible.
You're muted, you're muted.
So good morning, everyone. Respected sir, teachers, and everyone present in the meeting. My name is Pranjal Gogoi. I am from NIELIT, Jorhat. So sir, my question is that NIELIT generally provides many courses related to technology and IT sector. So to pursue generally masters in every sector, pursue higher studies, will NIELIT provide any specific courses in the future, like BCA or MCA or any other master courses? Thank you.
I think in Jorhat and Dibrugarh will start the formal courses very soon.
Okay, any other questions?
So the answer is yes.
Pasigat and Senapati Centers, do you have any questions?
Hello. Good morning, everyone. Hello.
Yeah, good morning. This is Pasigat Center.
मेरा नाम सोनी को है, मैं नीलित पासीघाट से हूँ और मैं मेरे एक्सपीरियंस के बारे में बताऊंगा। जो मेरी एक्सपीरियंस हूँ तो मैं बताऊंगा कि मेरा एक्सपीरियंस क्या है। तो मैंने जब इस कोर्स को ज्वाइन किया तो मेरा कोर्स का नाम है डोमेस्टिक आईटी हेल्प अटेंडेंस। उसको ज्वाइन किया तो मुझे बहुत सारे चीजें सीखने को मिला है अभी तक और अभी भी सीखने वाला हूँ, जैसे कि माइक्रोसॉफ्ट वर्ड और पावर पॉइंट और एक्सेल। तो बेसिक कंप्यूटर के लिए जरूरत होता है स्टूडेंट के लिए, मोस्टली स्टूडेंट के लिए जरूरी होता है, जो अभी यंग के लिए जरूरी होता है। जो हमें सीखना चाहिए कंप्यूटर के बारे में वो हमें मिल रहा है अभी यहाँ पे, जो मेरे जो कोर्स में वो मिल रहा है। तो मैं आभारी हूँ कि जो मुझे इस तरह का जो फ्री ऑफ कोर्स जो नेली जो प्रोवाइड कर रहा है वो मिल रहा हूँ। और सीखने के लिए बहुत बाकी है जो नेली में जो है सीखने का बाकी है। और सर मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूँ कि अरुणाचल में बीपीओ सेटअप हो सकता है BPO.
BPO. हाँ देखिए हम तो नहीं सेटअप करेंगे BPO, लेकिन हमारे प्रोग्रामों में एक स्कीम है जो BPO को एंकरेज करता है. मींस हम जब वहाँ पे अगर नॉर्थ ईस्ट में कहीं पर भी, अरुणाचल में या नागालैंड में कोई भी एंटरप्रेन्योर अगर BPO शुरू करता है, सरकार यानी कि भारत सरकार उनको सब्सिडी देगा, उनको कैपिटल इन्वेस्टमेंट में सब्सिडी देंगे. तो ऐसा एक स्कीम है और काफ़ी सारे BPOs सेटअप हो चुके हैं. और अगर हम वहाँ से कोई प्रपोजल है तो भेज दीजिए थ्रू द राइट चैनल्स टू गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया.
Recording in progress.
Okay, thank you. Do we have another
Recording
question
stopped.
from Senapati Extension Center? Senapati Extension Center, if you're online, do you have any questions?
Sir, will there be? Sir, my name is Shri Chalai, and I'm from Ukrul. There is no NIELIT in Ukrul, so there will.
We cannot see you. Can you come in front of the camera? Senapati Center. Yes.
Sir, my name is Shri Chalai, and I'm from Ukrul. Right now, there is no NIELIT in Ukrul district, Manipur. So, will they build NIELIT in Ukrul, Manipur?
Can you repeat your question?
No, at this stage there is no plan for Ukrul, but let us see. As this network becomes more and more successful, the Honorable Prime Minister has said, the Digital India ka Digital Northeast, that is his whole mission, that the mission of Digital India must go to every youth, every opportunity of Digital India is available to every youth in the Northeast. And if necessary, more NIELIT centers will be set up. Very soon there will be a NIELIT digital app that will also allow digital skilling, which may require less and less of physical infrastructure and more of labs alone. So we will at this stage see what the status and progress of our existing network of NIELITs is, and if there is a need to expand it, we will expand.
Just I want to add one thing. We are making a SOP for study centers in government institutions in Northeast. So once that is ready, in your district also we'll open the study.
Addressing to the students' concerns and also for your valuable advices. Now we come to the other important part of the program, that is launching of NECB 2.0 project and its portal. NECB 2.0 Northeast Capacity Building is a project for training in ICT, including training in digital skill sets and current industry demanding technologies for various sections of the society in Northeast states. Under this project, about 166,000 citizens will be skilled in 4 categories of courses. The total budget outlay of the project is 92 crores. May I now request our Honorable MOS Shri Rajeev Chandrasekhar to launch the NECB 2.0 project and its portal by pressing on the Can we have the portal screen again? Okay, we'll just move on with the program. Thank you, sir. Now I would request Shri Imna Tiba, Honorable Advisor, Industries and Commerce, Labor and Employment, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of Nagaland, to kindly address the gathering.
A very good morning to all of you. Honorable Union Minister of State, Shri Rajeev ji, my senior colleague, Shri Monlamo Kikon, and all the dignitaries, the participants. I'm very happy and it's a pleasure for me to be part of the inaugural program of 5 NIELIT centers. Importantly, this NIELIT Extension Center Dimapur. But again, most importantly, it is also a great pleasure of going around accompanying our Honorable Union Minister of State since 4th May, governing 2 districts, addressing the way that he's dealing, with developmental issues, and especially this trying to really identify the aspirations of the unemployed youths in these 2 districts, and also the way that he localized himself and then allowed the officials led by the deputy commissioners to be quite friendly, to very, open up and then go into details of all the problems faced in their respective districts. It's quite a learning thing for me, and then this also shows that we have the people's government in the nation, and the way this also shows the heart of our Honorable Prime Minister in trying to bring, development even to the farthest corner, and where the developments have been neglected for decades. Today, also as part of his schedules, we are very privileged to be part of this inaugural program of these 5 extension, NIELIT extension centers. Well, I'm very grateful to our Honorable Union Minister for setting up this NIELIT center in Dimapur. Well, this building was constructed for a different purpose by the Department of Industries and Commerce. But again, the right decision was made for giving away this building, which was supposed to be for guest house, but now it's been beautifully converted, revamped the entire building, and now it's been, given away to the NIELIT, for the NIELIT Extension Center in Dimapur. It's quite appreciative of what NIELIT and the Department of Industries and Commerce are doing in the state. Few projects they are jointly undertaking, like under this startup policy, NIELIT is also identified as the incubation center for IT sector. So it is also one of the implementing agencies for the startup under this startup policy. And NIELIT and the Department of Industries and Commerce are also jointly, initiating digital intervention on handloom and handicraft sectors, that is for the enhancement of the livelihood and enhancement of artisans in the state. So we are very appreciative of what these 2 departments are doing, and I wish through this NIELIT center, this will also address the unemployment issues in the state by creating more job opportunities in the IT sectors. And then I wish all the best to the NIELIT team Nagaland in all your endeavors. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. May I now request Shri Monlumo Kikon, Honorable Advisor, Information Technology and Communication, Science and Technology, Northeast Region, Government of Nagaland, to kindly address the gathering.
Thank you, Chairperson. It is not Northeast region, it is new and renewable energy. Respected Honorable Union Minister of State for Electronics and IT and Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Shri Rajeev Chandrasekhar ji, my colleague in the Assembly and Advisor for Labor and Employment Industry, Shri Imna Tipa, Joint Secretary, MEITI, Dr. Mishra, Director General NIELIT, Dr. Tripathi, Director NIELIT Kohima, DC, Dimapur, SP Dimapur, and all the officers from Dimapur District Administration, Director IT and his staff, and friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege and honor to be part of this wonderful program where we have inaugurated already 5 NELIT centers in the northeastern region. It is indeed true to the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister that the policy of reaching out down to the last mile is exhibited every day in the country, and today we are witnessing one such event. I am very grateful to our Union Minister for coming to the Northeast time and again. This is his second visit as a Union Minister. But as a private citizen, this may be his 20th visit. He is a friend of our people, and his commitment is shown in the way he has addressed, grasped, and in the way he is trying to understand the challenges and address those challenges through his ministry. Just briefly, I would like to say something about the milestones covered by the IT department in Nagaland. At such an important event, I would like to brief our Union Minister that since he's coming to Nagaland and inauguration of the STPI Nagaland, we have already now 16 e-services going live, providing services to the various departments and the citizens of Nagaland. And for a small state like Nagaland, in terms of size and population, it's incomparable to Assam, but in the entire Northeast, the electronic transaction in Nagaland is second to Assam state only in the region. So that is one of the achievements. I mean, although in the past, like in 2017, Nagaland state was given the NIELIT Award, E-Governance Award by the Computer Society of India, and as the best performing state in Northeast e-governance, Northeastern region in e-governance. Number 2, in 2018, the Northeast Tech Sabha was held, and Nagaland was awarded the best in the category of enterprise application by the Indian Express Group. And in 2019, the Nation E-Governance Service Delivery Assessment 2019, Nagaland topped in the Northeastern and Hill States category. So in our own small way, we have been making gentle but steady and sure strides in the field of, in this sector. And we feel that IT and e-governance is going to be the backbone and the foundation for the future of our people in this state. Having inaugurated STPI last year, we have, within a short span of a year, we have been recognized as one of the best STPI in the Northeast. And I would want to inform you that the STPI Kohima, is now fully occupied with local entrepreneurs from the state of Nagaland. So this was unimaginable. People were a little doubtful whether we will have our enterprising young people engaging and taking advantage of the facilities and the opportunities that we provide through STPI in Nagaland. However, to our own surprise and to our joy and happiness, we have now so many local entrepreneurs occupying the STPI space in the state of Nagaland. With this, I would like to encourage our youth to take up whatever enterprising initiative that you have and to look at government as your support, to look at the government as your support system, because we are continually trying to address the challenges in the state of Nagaland. We want to be part of New India in a big way. And to this end, I am very grateful to Rajeev Chandrasekhar ji for constantly keeping in touch with all of us and providing us the support that we require. And he has always been hands-on in terms of understanding our issues and ensuring that not only just the government support from the ministry, but in terms of clarifying many things for us and helping us understand the vision of the Prime Minister of India from time to time. As my colleague advisor Atipa has already shared, we went to Longwa, to the Indo-Myanmar border as well, and from there we came. It was a long journey, but if you look at all the union ministers under the Modi government, they are hardworking, they don't sleep also, they want to serve the people with so much zeal that we feel that the new India is here for us to see. With this, I want to thank the NIELIT for inviting me to this wonderful event. I am sure we will work together in the days to come for the future of our people. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Coming to the most awaited part of the program, we shall now be addressed by Shri Rajeev Chandrasekharji, Honorable MOS. He is the Union Minister of State in the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology and Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. As a minister, he has been advocating and leading the Digital India program launched by Honorable Prime Minister in the year 2005. The minister is also working towards taking forward vision of PM Narendra Modi on making India a global hub for ESDM electronic systems design and manufacturing, especially through the newly launched India Semicon mission. The minister is also working towards implementing Honorable PM's directions of designing a new approach to skilling Skill India 2.0 to build on the gains of Skill India 1.0 and to transform India into a global skills hub. As a technology entrepreneur, he is known as one of the pioneers who built the nation, the Indian telecom sector, and established India's biggest cellular network in India. He has been an advocate of free speech and net neutrality. He was instrumental in getting the controversial Section 66A of the IT Act struck down through the Supreme Court. He also fought for getting the right to privacy declared as a fundamental right through a landmark judgment pronounced by the Supreme Court. In 2009, he founded the Flags of Honor Foundation, a foundation that supports martyrs' families and serves as a platform for citizens who seek to help families of martyrs. The list goes on, and we are indeed very honored to have Sir in our presence today. So I shall give him the time to address the audience who are eagerly waiting both online and offline. Sir, you may kindly take your time.
Good morning all, and thank you for that warm and slightly long introduction. But thank you nevertheless for the very, very warm welcome to my friends and colleagues from the Government of Nagaland, Imnatipa, and my friend Mon, my colleagues from the Ministry in the Government of India, friends, and most importantly, the students from the 5 NIELITs who are in attendance and those else who are observing these inaugurations of these NIELIT centers. First of all, let me say I'm extremely happy to be here. I was here a few months ago, and to take from where my friend Mon was talking about STPI in Kohima. If you recollect, Mon, when we visited STPI at that time, about 7 months ago, there was just one entrepreneur. There was one entrepreneur with 3 people. And now the STPI in Kohima is packed with entrepreneurship. And that is a symbol and a sign of the future of Nagaland and the future of the Northeast. And let me start by saying that you have heard of Digital India. You have heard of our Prime Minister's vision for digitization, which he launched in 2014. And he had 3 objectives in those when he launched Digital India. And I want to share that. And my conversation primarily is aimed at the students today. There were 3 objectives. Number 1 was using technology to transform the lives of ordinary citizens and therefore improve governance, improve democracy. The second objective was to create more opportunities for our youth, expand our digital economy, expand investments. And the third objective of Digital India was about creating global leadership capabilities in India. Many of you are from government here. Almost all of us are citizens. You will all agree that on the first count on using technology to transform our lives and our governance, there has been significant progress. In the late 80s, there was a famous quote from our then Prime Ministers that said, every 100 rupees that left Delhi, only 15 rupees reaches the citizen. That was the case 20 years ago, and that was taken almost for granted as the descripting or the characteristic of our democracy. But in 2022, and especially during the COVID period, it has been demonstrated that technology has enabled government and governance to deliver every rupee meant for every beneficiary directly to his or her account, without any corruption, without any leakage, without any delay. That is the power of technology. On the second objective of creating more opportunities, it is clear from the last 2 years of this unprecedented COVID pandemic, during this pandemic, and India's response to it, that if it was not for technology, our response would have been a far different response, and many more lives, many more livelihoods, and much more economic destruction would have happened. On one side, that point. The other side, look at our response and our performance as an economy post-COVID. We are the fastest growing economy in the world. We are the fastest growing startup and innovation ecosystem in the world. We have created 100 unicorns, and we have received the highest foreign direct investment of any country in the world. Vaccinated 1.8 billion, 180 crore vaccination shots. And we, for all practical purposes, have crossed the risk, crossed the turmoil, crossed the challenge posed by the pandemic, even as countries like China, countries like the US still grapple with their 3rd and 4th waves. So when you today look back to the last 2 years and look back to the last several years, we can all safely assume that technology has played a defining role in the rise of India, in the rise of Indians, and in the global respect and awe that India now commands within the community of nations worldwide. That was why Digital India is important. That is why Digital India is important. Now, why is Digital India ka Digital Nagaland? Why is Digital India ka Digital Northeast? These are the new narratives. Why are those as important? And I address my points and my conversation only directly to the students. let me tell you about what is happening around the world and what is happening in India, and why it is important for all of you to join that movement and these exciting times of opportunity. In the last 1 year, India has created almost 10 lakh new jobs. 10 lakh new jobs in IT and electronics. So when the STPI in Kohima fills up, as my friend Mon has explained, it is pointing to a direction and a trend, which is what? That in the post-COVID reality, digital skills are critical. And conversely, students who have digital skills, students who have digital training, students who specialize in digital areas will get tremendous new opportunities in jobs and entrepreneurship. We are a country that has created in the last few years 100 unicorns. 100 unicorns means what? 100 billionaires. And unlike in the past, these billionaires are billionaires not because they have a last name, famous last name, that they are a son and daughter of a politician, or that they are Tata, Birla, Ambani. These are all youngsters who studied hard, worked hard, created innovation, and created wealth and prosperity for themselves. And that is the new India. And when we say today, new India means new opportunities and new prosperity, it means that the young youth that will be the next unicorn can be from Nagaland, it can be from Dimapur, Kohima, Pasigat, Dibrugarh, Jorhat, anywhere. It does not matter anymore in this new world who your father was, who your grandfather was, what are you connected to the local MLA, are you connected to the local MP or minister. It is purely your capabilities, and that is in the center of which that promise of Digital India ka Digital Northeast, Digital India ka Digital Nagaland, Digital India ka Digital Arunachal Pradesh, Digital India ka Digital Assam. Central to that is institutions like NIELIT that are enablers for your prosperity, enablers for your future. I just want to leave a few more thoughts with the young youth who are already quite excited by these opportunities. It used to be in the Northeast, if you're a young Naga or a young Arunachali or a young Assamese, your first preference was look for a government job. That was the almost a life mission. How do I get my parents to get me a job in the government, NPSC, UPSC, etc., etc. And I'm not saying there is anything wrong with looking for a life of service, life of work in government and serving the public. I do that. The DC does that. The professionals in the police do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But to give yourself more options as a youngster, to be able to stand on your own and to be able to deliver your own future, build your own future on your own capabilities, these type of technology skills are the answer. That is the future. And the Honorable Prime Minister has repeatedly said, the future of India is technology, and he has called the next 10 years India's decade. And to make India's decade, to realize India's decade into reality, it will require the youth from Nagaland, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, every other region in the Northeast, as well as every other part of India, who join this Digital India revolution, this Digital India movement, and are excited by it. I will end by saying this, and this is an assurance, and this is an answer to the question that the young man asked me about opportunities, and the young lady from Jorhat asked about opportunities. It is the mission of the government of India. It is an article of faith for us, and it is a task given by our Honorable Prime Minister, that institutions like NIELIT, institutions like STPI, institutions like NIC, that are all actively working with state governments, will provide opportunities for the youth that are being trained here, that are being skilled here, and the opportunities will be either in employment and or entrepreneurship. So that is the runway. I would urge all of these students who have these opportunities at NIELIT all around the Northeast and all around the country to use this opportunity well. This is not a gateway to a certificate. This is a gateway to a new life. If you are today in an O-level course and you want an A-level program, look for that A-level program. It is the mandate of NIELIT that they will now constantly up and create more upskilling programs within the NIELIT ecosystem. The country and the world is looking at India as a trusted partner of digital products and services. We are today a country that is going to do $400 billion of electronics manufacturing and reach almost 12% of the global supply chains on electronics. We have grown 16% on a base of $200 billion last year on technology services. The industry, professionals, the youth are flourishing all around the country. It is time to bring that revolution, bring that opportunity, bring that prosperity to the states and the regions and the youth of the Northeast. NIELITs are the gateway for that. Please engage, please study, please dedicate yourself, because the world of opportunities is just in front of you over the next coming years. So be prepared and be determined to avail of those opportunities. I thank you again for inviting me. Moi bishi kushi ase. I am very happy to be here today, and I hope all of you find that studying at NIELIT is a useful and fruitful way for you to realize your future life choices. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Having a hardworking, passionate, and visionary leader like you is truly a blessing for the country and its citizens. सर आप दूसरे सेंटर्स को छोड़ के हमारे शहर में हमारे सेंटर में आए, इसलिए हम हमेशा आपके आभारी रहेंगे और हमारी यही दुआ है कि हमारे राज्य के लोगों की जो
Chandrasekhar, Electronics and IT, Skill Development, Entrepreneurship, Government of India. Shri Imnadiba, Honorable Advisor for Industry and Commerce, Labor and Employment, Skill Development, Entrepreneurship, Government of Nagaland. Shri Monlumu Kikon, Honorable Advisor for IT and Communications, Science and Technology, New and Renewable Energy, Government of Nagaland. Senior government officials, invitees, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure to be performing the noble task of performing a vote of thanks on this truly momentous occasion. Sir, we are deeply grateful to Honorable Union Minister for having taken all the trouble to be in our midst to inaugurate NIELIT Dimapur Center with other 4 NIELIT centers in the northeastern state. We all know that, sir, you have been in the state for the last 3 days, crisscrossing the length and breadth of Nagaland, undertaking very arduous journey, braving the rough weather. Despite all the hardship, you have made all-out effort to be with us today. It is not only your today's presence that we are grateful about, but it is because of your blessings and guidance that these very campuses have come up to exist. We are indeed thankful to you all for this. Our gratitude goes to Honorable Advisor Shri Imnadiba for his gracious presence today. It is because of your personal intervention that the Dimapur Center of NIELIT could come to fruition as a collaborative initiative of Department of Industry and Commerce and NIELIT. The Department of Industry and Commerce have readily made available the land and buildings where the NIELIT Dimapur is hosted today. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to once again, sir. My sincere thanks to Honorable Advisor Shri Monlumu Kikon for gracing the inaugural session, sir. We look forward for your guidance and support in our endeavor. I must express my deep gratitude to our respected Dr. Jadip Mishra, Joint Secretary, MIT,
We are really fortunate to work under your able guidance. I'm sincerely grateful, sir, for your genuine concern and greatly value your contribution and guidance in all our activities, ensuring that we always do the right thing in the right way. I'm really grateful to our Dr. M.M. Tripathi, Director General NIELIT, for encouraging us in professional growth, sir. Within a short span of time after you assumed the high office of DG, you have motivated us to many new activities and initiatives, especially in the emerging technologies, and have taken NIELIT to new heights. We look forward to your continued guidance in the days to come. I would like to thank Registrar NIELIT, Dr. Chayanda, for constantly being there supporting us. I would also like this opportunity to express my sincere thanks to our esteemed guests and respected distinguished dignitaries from various state government departments, as well as community industry leaders present today, who have taken keen interest in the program to attend this inaugural program. I also extend my gratitude to the media person from print and electronic media for the wide coverage that they are giving us today, and also the positive reportings about the initiative of NIELIT in the past. I also thank the entire team of NIELIT, including students, for working tirelessly for the past many days to ensure that this program turns out to be a grand one. Lastly, but not the least, on behalf of all of us, I thank the Almighty for granting us a wonderful day and for showering His blessing upon all of us. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir. That will be the end of today's program for inauguration of NIELIT centers. I would now request the audience to kindly remain standing as our dignitaries leave the dais. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I request the audience to remain in their seats. Okay, we'll have the media briefing right now. Okay. Okay, the audience can take their seats. Okay. Can I have all the media persons inside the building? Can we have all the media persons inside the building for the media briefing? I request the audience to kindly remain seated. Refreshments have been prepared for all of you, so kindly participate and fill yourselves with the delicious food items. I want to thank each and every one of you for participating in today's program and for being such a lovely audience. It was a pleasure being your host, and I wish you all a lovely afternoon ahead. Thank you once again. Jai Hind.